Hey guys, welcome back to the MSR Workshop. So we are going to be doing a lasering project just in time for Father's Day. I think you'll like this, so stick around. So today's project involves making some kinetic tactile coasters. What are those? If you want to see, let's go over to Lightburn. So what we're going to be making today is a set of 4 different coasters. Now I've made the first one just to show you what I'm talking about, but these are ones that are laser cut, but they have movable parts. So they're pretty cool. Each one of these 4 are different, so we are going to make one of the others just to show you how it is done on Lightburn and then in our K40 laser, which happens to be the sponsor of today's video. Now, if you want to know more about the K40 lasers, you can go over to Monport, and that is monportlaser.com, and learn more about those. And you can use my discount code of Adam10 to get yourself 10% off any of the items that they carry. Now moving on to this is all laser cut and assembled. Now I haven't glued anything together, but the next one that we're going to do is one of the 4. Now I got the plans for these off of Etsy. They cost me around $5, but they load up great into Lightburn, and the material that I'm using today is a 2.5 millimeter MDF type material, which works really well. So let's jump over to Lightburn and I'll show you how to make this. So starting off in Lightburn, let's load our first file. So I have this already saved to my art library in Lightburn, and this is a file that I pulled off of Etsy, and I will leave a link where you can get this yourself and download it. Now there's different variations of this. This came as a set of 4, but if you don't like this particular set of 4, there is other ones for sale as well. So I'm going to go ahead and click on coasters, and the nice thing about this particular seller is they list it for a number of different thicknesses of materials. So in our case, we're using a 2.5 millimeter style MDF, and I think I'm going to go with this bicycle one here. And this one looks pretty cool. It's got movable wheels and there's a bunch of gears in it. And we are going to try and center this as best as we can. And we may have to do a little bit of moving on some of these parts, just so we can fit everything in one spot. Move that guy down there. I'm going to move that actually out of the way. See if you can't shove those over there. There we go. Now we are able to fit everything into one spot. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to actually go ahead and remove all of this. So I'm just going to highlight the whole thing and hit cut. And the first thing we need to do is test our power settings. So I'm just going to do a little bitty circle up here in the corner. Now on my 80 watt laser, 20 millimeters a second at 25% power was perfect. I'm going to go ahead and leave it at 25% power. And I'm going to cut this in half, and I'm going to go to 10 millimeters a second. And this is just going to be our test cut. So let's jump over to our laser and put our material in there, frame it out, and see how it does. So I'm going to load up my material, and the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to double check our height to make sure that we have our thing set up perfect, and we do. So now that my laser is on, make sure I switch my cooler on, and I think we're ready to do a test cut. So let's take a look at that. We are just barely through. So let's go ahead and just bump up our power just a little bit. I think I want to keep it at that 10 millimeters a second. Much slower than that, we might risk doing some burning. And that cut through beautifully. So I think we found our settings. So we're at 30 millimeters, or 10 millimeters a second at 30% power. And of course, I probably could play with that a little bit more just to dial it in just a little bit more. But it doesn't look like there's any burning on this is what we want. So let's go ahead and throw in our actual material in and get this framed out just to make sure that we're getting everything to fit. All right, guys, so we are going to go ahead and cut this out. Now, this makes a lot of smoke. MDF actually makes quite a bit of smoke. So I'm going to go ahead and close the door on this, and we're going to get started. Let's see how we've done. So that looks like it cut out perfect. Now we're going to gather up all the pieces, and I'm going to show you how to assemble this. So the way you're going to put these together is you're going to put one long side that's supporting here through, and then flip it over and put the locking key on the other side. And the reason that you have a short piece is because otherwise, if it was long, it would hang over the edge, just like that. So I want to show you something really quick. You actually have 3 different lengths of pieces. So this would be your long one, these would be your double-sided short one, and this is one that has just a little bit longer one. So these two would be going together for these pieces here. These double-sided short ones we're going to use for something else. So go ahead and save these. So now let's go ahead and fit these in the holes, right like that. Next, we can go ahead and drop our center ring in, and we're going to start assembling the little sprockets. Now the sprockets are what you're going to use, these double-sided short ones. So same way, stick one through there and there, and then these would line up with the gear. all along the ridges. Now the last part is going ahead and lining up all of our little crosses to fit the top half together. Well guys, that's it for this video. That was pretty simple but fun to make, and I know that there's somebody in your life that would like some of these. Now, if you want to know more about the laser that I used today, you can check out the link below, and that's the monportlaser.com. And I was using their 40-watt K40 that I have been using for a while, and this is a laser that they sent to me for review and to do some videos on. But if you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, be sure and leave those below. Now, one little last pro tip: if you're having trouble with these not spinning freely, go ahead and take you a little piece of paraffin wax, and on the little press pins that you put together, just put a little bit of wax on that, and that'll help keep these sliding smoothly. And obviously, depending on the type of material, you can paint these any color that you want. I happen to paint mine because they were MDF, and MDF and water don't get along if you're to actually use these as coasters. But I would recommend sealing them anyway, just because wood can warp and absorb moisture. And then if they do swell, these might not turn as easily as you hoped for. Until next time, guys, thanks again.